So a while back, it was announced that a Madam Web movie would come out starring Dakota Johnson in the role as a younger version of Madam Web, and of course, most people, including myself, acknowledge that because of this movie being made by Sony, it's more than likely dead on arrival. Dog shit, if you will. Sony, for the life of them, haven't been able to make a good live-action Spider-Man movie since 2004, and their first two instances of success were mostly due to Sam Raimi, and because of their meddling, they haven't been able to independently produce something of that same quality. This is a topic I feel I have to reiterate constantly. I still enjoy Spider-Man 3, and I think there's a lot of merit in The Amazing Spider-Man 1, but there is a reason why Spider-Man is in the MCU, and that's because of Sony's live-action incompetence. And since Sony gave Marvel the chance to use Spider-Man, they, on their end, have legitimately been successful at making bad movies that people will still watch, like the Venom movies, not so much with Morbius, the big Morbster, but also moving forward with movies like Kraven and like Madam Web that nobody really understands why they're making except to make money or potentially make money. These are just all bad moves. They're wastes of IPs. It's just really not their thing. But their main drive, of course, is profiting off of the clout of ties to Spider-Man and the potential for crossovers from the web crawler in the near future, which is a big worry for MCU Spider-Man fans. We have such an awesome thing going, we don't want it to get tainted by the shitfest that's happening with Sony's adjacent Spider-Man universe. Now, to avoid going off in a tangent, recently supposed characters the cast will be playing have leaked. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but it's pretty wild. So Sydney Sweeney's rumored character will be Julia Carpenter, the second Madam Web. So unfortunately, my boys, we are definitely taking the nap, okay? Because she should have been Black Cat, but that's neither here nor there. The suit right here is fire, so maybe if they go with that look, that could be something dope. And hopefully Sydney Sweeney obviously does a good job. Celeste O'Connor will be playing Maddie Franklin. She was a Spider-Woman from the 90s who got her powers from this like weird ass ritual in Amazing Spider-Man 441, and like Madam Web was there, the original one, and so was Norman Osborn. Like it was like a really weird thing. And then we have Isabella Merced as Anya Corazon, or Araña, a Spider Girl from the early 2000s. I'm a little foggy on her origin of her powers, but they came from the Spider Society. All the casting seems good. Nothing too crazy, right? Nothing to really get my ass up for and throw it in a theater seat. But because of this leak, the rumor is that Adam Scott will be playing a younger version of Uncle Ben in the movie. And to go along with that, Emma Roberts, who has been spotted on set with the baby bump and was rumored to be playing Jessica Drew, the Spider-Woman, and that would make total sense, but supposedly she will be playing Mary Parker, the mother of Peter Parker, and that baby in her belly is an unborn Peter Parker. And the gist of the movie and what it's being described as is that some villain, which we'll get into right now, who it's more than likely going to be, will be traveling through the multiverse killing spider people or spider totems. And so these Spider-Woman will be protecting both young Mary Parker as well as young Uncle Ben because of who Peter Parker becomes in the future, and that being heavily influenced by Uncle Ben, which admittedly, and you guys know how much I despise Sony, that sounds seriously amazing. The villain is more than likely going to be Morlun and the Inheritors. They're like these insanely powerful extra-dimensional beings that use the web of life and destiny to travel through the multiverse, and they feed off of beings that have an animal-based totem. So essentially, to put it in layman's terms, you know, in human words, they're like energy vampires for superheroes or beings with an animal theme or empowered by an animal totem. Almost in a way, kind of like how Moon Knight gets his powers, like he's an avatar for one of these great beings. Again, nothing confirmed, but it's essentially the only real route I think there is to take. And so this is a part of the video where, again, like I've done in previous videos, where I literally walk into the mind of Sony, past the department of pure shit, past the smoothness of the brain department. I know the section of just marbles in the mind of Sony, and I get to where their plans are stored, and I swipe their plans and I lay it all out. And it seems what Sony is attempting is eventually making a live action Spiderverse movie. Although we really got the perfect one last year, but it's Sony, of course. They're gonna milk shit for days. They're trying to be like Borden. Anyway, I'm sure this is them making the stepping stone to get there, and although I have no faith they will be able to execute this, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued, okay? But more so than anything, like, you know, Drizzy Drake would say, you know, I'm upset because if Adam Scott is young Uncle Ben, then is that the reason why Uncle Ben has been off limits for all this time? Because he was gonna be in this movie? Because that's not a good enough reason for him to be out of the franchise, for them to not be able to use them. That's a little bit of a, well, you know, a Sony type of reason, which would be, you know, kind of dog shit in the mind. And I love the whole May being a pseudo single mother perspective in No Way Home, but like, is this really the reason we haven't got Ben? Like, it's so pathetic. And also, Adam Scott is such an elite casting for Uncle Ben, or at least a younger one. Like, I totally buy that. Like, I buy that this is the guy that gave Peter Parker his morals. Like, it's so good. It's just so insane. Like, we could have at least gotten a mention of Uncle Ben, and so many people could have shut the fuck up. And that kind of further proves my point, or a lot of people's point, that hey, this is all on Sony's doing. They had this whole grand idea to get this shit going because they wanted to use Uncle Ben in this way, whereas I'm pretty sure if the MCU could, they would have at least had him in there a lot more than what they did do. So it really is very fucking stupid, and it is what it is. The other concern, and this dips its toes a bit into one of the biggest complaints for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's making it so Peter Parker being bitten was destiny or predestiny and not something that could have happened to just anyone, but it happened to him. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but overall, as cool as this concept seems, I have no faith Sony can execute it, and it looks like they're trying to do too many big things that they don't have the infrastructure for. I'd imagine they'll try to get as many animal-based Spider-Man villains together, like Vulture, maybe Scorpion, Rhino, maybe even make Raven like an honorary inheritor. I have no idea. Probably also bring in Tom Hardy's Venom in the fold as somebody who might in the future have some connection to a spider totem whenever Peter Parker gets in possession of the symbiote in the MCU, and have their little version of Infinity War or Endgame, just the Sony version. So, well, it's gonna suck ball sacks. More realistically, another Spider-Verse movie just in live action. Maybe they call it Spider-Geddon, who knows, but that's what I see them doing. It's really stupid, like most things Sony does, so hopefully Feige doesn't let it happen. More so than anything, the reason why a Sony video made by me is not a rant video is because I actually really have nothing left to thank for them. Like, this isn't a newer level of stupidity they've somehow achieved. It's simply more of the same disappointing, sad, pathetic, milking horse shit as usual. But let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on these supposed character leaks? Do you have faith in this project? And are you actually excited to see this now that Uncle Ben is going to be in it and it's kind of like a Terminator type of beat to it? It sounds interesting, but you already know where I think it's going. But let me know. That's it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of you guys are well, and I'll see you in the next one.